Diamonds in the rough. NFL Draft Diamonds. Time to shine.
Hi, my name is Jimmy Williams with NFL Draft Diamonds, and today I have with me a diamond in the rough. His name is Kooper Richardson. He's an offensive lineman out of Sacramento State. Nice to have you on, sir.
Thanks for having me on.
So, obviously, I don't know. It seems like you're more of a West Coast guy. I mean, kind of born and bred. I mean, you took you took most of your time actually at UC Davis before you got to Sacramento. But I want to hear it from the horse's mouth. So, why don't you go ahead and tell me about your journey as a football player and how you ultimately got there?
Totally. So I was born and raised in Folsom, California, which is about 20 minutes outside of Sacramento. And growing up, my dad was the head coach of our local high school. And he was the head coach there for, I believe, around 16 years. And while he was there, he led a very successful program that won, 4 state titles and a handful of section titles to go along with it. So growing up, I was always around football, whether it be the ball boy or out at practice with my dad and helping any way I can. So I'm kind of a football junkie growing up. And in high school, I was lucky enough to once again be coached by him and win a state title with him, along with playing with a lot of great players. Got to play along with Jonah Williams, who's now with the Bengals, and Cody Creason, who was a 4-year starter for University of Arizona. So I got to learn from a lot of incredible offensive linemen. And so after high school, I graduated and attended UC Davis for 5 years. And while I was there, I started around 20, I think it was 23 games. I started at UC Davis. Was lucky enough to be a team captain and have the honors of that stuff. And then I ended up graduating in spring, after the spring season of the COVID season. I graduated from UC Davis and transferred to Sacramento State, where I was able to now play with my dad again. My dad is actually now the offensive line coach and assistant head coach here at Sacramento State, as long as my brother plays here at Sac State as well as an offensive lineman. So I was able to transfer over to play with them, and lucky enough to win a conference championship here.
Awesome. So nice to be able to come from a lineage there where, football is just kind of part of your life. So, I mean, obviously a father there being a head coach, instilling that wisdom since you popped out of the womb. So fun stuff. Um, Again, like you said, I mean, you started at UC Davis, ended up at Sacramento State. You started a good handful of games. Where would we find you out there, playing? I mean, I want to say, at least per my notes, you were a right tackle, but where have you played generally along that offensive line?
Totally. So all my starts have come from right tackle. I've started all my games at UC Davis and at Sac State at right tackle. I did my freshman year at UC Davis play center. I was a center, and then my second year at UC Davis, I was a left tackle. So I've kind of played all across the line. I also was, along with being a center my freshman year, I was always kind of that emergency center all the way up through my end of career at Sac State. So I've always taken practice snaps and stuff there. So I've played most of all positions.
So how do you see yourself projecting to the next level? Do you see yourself as a guy that could just be anybody who could plug and play along that line? Like, how do you see yourself, making that transition?
Totally. I do see myself as like a guy that can be put in at any position and succeed at any position. I have the mental, as a coach's kid, I have the mental strength of being able to switch positions and understand what everyone does as a collective unit. So I'm able to be plugged in at any position and know what the guy's doing. So I feel like that's one of my strengths.
Gotcha. Anything else about you that you feel separates you as a prospect? I mean, anything about you as a player, just kind of in general?
I mean, obviously, being a coach's kid helps in the sense of having that understanding, that deep understanding of a whole offense, and understanding, once again, as I said, what not only do we do as a 5 collective group of offensive line, but everyone else in the scheme does as well. So I understand how everything ties together, and what kind of blocks will help project the rest of the play.
Sure. So, growing up as a kid, like, who is that one offensive lineman, or even somebody who didn't play that offensive line? Who were you a fan of growing up? Like, do you have a guy who that you try and look up to at your position, or what?
Yeah, I mean, I can touch on in college. I did a lot of off-season studies, and someone that I like watching a lot is Lane Johnson from the Eagles. He's probably one of my favorite guys to watch, and a guy I try to mimic a lot in my play performance. And he's very explosive out of his stance, and I think obviously that helps him a lot in pass protection, and that's something I was able to pick up from his film study and from me watching him on film and transition that onto the field and make my set into what it is now. And obviously, it also helps. I watch Jonah Williams a lot just because I played with him, and I can pick up a lot of great tips from him as well.
Gotcha. And then I just kind of am curious about like the difference really between your time there at UC Davis and your time there at Sac State. I mean, can you just kind of fill me in a little bit, like on more or less just the dynamic there, like the offenses that you were a part of, and maybe some teammates there that we want to give some love to.
Yeah, I mean, actually, both the programs are incredible programs. I was lucky enough to win conference championships at both UC Davis and Sac State. I was a part of one of the most explosive offenses in the FCS in 2018, where we had Jake Mara as our QB and Keelan Doss, who's now in the NFL, as one of our wide receivers. And I was lucky enough this past year to have one of the most explosive offenses as well at Sacramento State. So I'm very lucky in the sense of coming from two great programs with two incredible head coaches with great support staff that really was able to transform me into who I am now.
Nice. What would you say has been like your most memorable moment of your collegiate career? Is there perhaps a game or a play that just kind of sticks out in your memory?
I think I kind of two of them tie together. So I played at University of Montana twice, once at Davis and once at Sac State. And I think Montana is one of the most incredible places to play in the FCS. I was lucky enough to be able to play at North Dakota State and all these other great stadiums. But in my opinion, nothing compares to University of Montana. And I was actually lucky enough to go in there and beat them twice as well. Got lucky in 2018, and when we came back and rallied back to win at the last second and win this past year at Sac State. So I think those were two incredible moments. And then same with this past season, we actually went back and played UC Davis at UC Davis, and that's where we won our conference championship. And I think most importantly, I was able to win a championship with my dad and my brother, which not many people can say they had the chance to do.
Hey man, it's nice to have that family moment, where you're able to, have that W and share that together. So great stuff. So obviously, coach's kid. So I mean, I don't know how you might spin this next question, but what do you feel is the best lesson you've ever learned from a coach, whether it be your head coach or your O line coach, your pops? Like, what's that one lesson that still sticks with you the most?
Yeah, actually, it's from our offense coordinator at UC Davis, Tim Plow, who's now with Boise State, and he always preached to be dependable and available, and that's something that stuck with me. I've only missed one game in my college career with a minor injury, and was able to stay available, and I'm also very dependable. Where once again, I know the whole scheme for everyone, so I don't make any mental busts. And so that's one thing that's always stuck with me.
And if you were able to just kind of go back in time a little bit and maybe talk to your younger self, what sort of advice did you give him, to help him along his collegiate journey?
Yeah, I think the biggest lesson I could give my younger self would be to enjoy the process, enjoy everything. I think a lot of times you can get caught up with, especially when you want to be, that all-star player, you get caught up with being a perfectionist and stuff like that. And that obviously drives me to who I am today. But like, I think enjoying it. I enjoyed this past season a lot playing here at Sac State, and that was one of my goals, was to enjoy every moment, enjoy every game, every practice and stuff like that. Because sometimes, especially when you're younger in your college career, you can get caught up with the monotonous grind of, the same time every day and the stuff like that. But that was definitely something I learned over time playing college football, and I wish I could go back and tell myself again.
Sure, sure. No, I get you. Yeah, you got to enjoy it while you got it, for sure. So,
Exactly.
Cooper, let's get a chance. I want to meet you outside of this game a little bit. So, tell me something about you that's fun, interesting, unique, special, hobbies, interests, or what have you. So, tell me about yourself if you don't mind.
Yeah, one of my favorite things to do is actually just hang out with my friends. I have an incredible friend group from UC Davis that we still talk every day, and it's pretty awesome because we're all still basically local. Um, so we're able to see each other all the time, and whether that's playing video games together, talk and stuff like that, or I go hunting or some just those outdoor activities, playing sports with the boys. That's probably one of my favorite things to do. So.
Gotcha. You have a favorite movie?
Probably would be Remember the Titans, actually.
Okay. Remember the Titans? Okay. You have a TV show that you like to binge watch?
Ted Lasso. Ted Lasso is an incredible show.
All right. Nice, nice. What about favorite comfort meal?
Um, I'm gonna go with the dessert. My mom makes a coffee cake, which is incredible. And that's something I wish I could have at every dessert. Because it's probably one of the best desserts I've had.
Give you a little zip there in the end too, I would imagine. So,
Mm-hmm.
also just tell me about your hometown just a little bit. Tell me about maybe where you're from and that sort of thing, and what we would do like if I were to come hang out with you for a day.
Yeah, totally. So once again, Folsom is in like a prime location because it's right next to Sacramento. It's only about an hour and a half from San Francisco in the Bay Area. It's also about an hour and a half from Lake Tahoe. So it's actually right in the perfect area. And along with being close to Lake Tahoe and stuff like that, we actually have a lake in Folsom, Folsom Lake. And so that's always very fun to go out and go boating or just hit the water with all your friends and stuff like friends and family. So it's once again one of the best locations I think in this Northern California region.
Awesome. Nice to really get a good feel for what your options that you have out there. So nice. Cooper, you obviously had your pro day, and obviously we're now transitioning towards the draft. So how do you feel like you did at your pro day overall? Like, I mean, I saw some of your numbers. They look great. So just to kind of recap some of those. 26 bench reps of 225, 32-inch vertical jump. Uh, 40 is actually pretty good too. A guy who gets under that 5 second marker is always a great thing. So, how did you think you did overall?
Oh, I felt like I did really well. I was really blessed to be able to train with Ryan Dietrich, who's our strength coach at Sac State, who does an incredible job training guys. So I was with him for all the way up to pro day, and I'm very happy with the way it went, and excited to see where it's going to take me.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, as we wind down our time with this interview, obviously there's been some scouts that have seen you, probably some Niner scouts since they're right there. But I mean, I would imagine that there might be some other scouts who may want to get a chance to meet you. So why don't you go ahead and hit them with your pitch as to why they need to take a chance on you and draft you or sign you, and what kind of teammate you would be for their program. So go ahead and hit them with your pitch.
Totally. And the thing with me is I'm one of the hardest working guys on the field. I'm not only that, I'm extremely smart with being a coach's kid, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to win. I come from winning programs at every level so far, so I know what it takes to win. I know what it looks like, and I'm just really trying to help anyone that I can win, whether that's changing positions to stuff like that. So I'm always a team player. I'm always one of the hardest working guys on the field, and once again, I just want to help teams win.
Sure. We're obviously getting a guy who's fairly athletic, dependable, teachable, and a good teammate overall who knows how to get the job done, knows how to have be in a successful program. So, Cooper, there's got to be that one coach, that one scout out there that we've touched, we've reached, that can pretty much say that hey, I might give this guy a chance. So. Do wish you best of luck in all of that and everything else you got going on in your life. All right.
Thank you so much. Yes, thank you again.
No problem. Once again, we got Kooper Richardson. He's an offensive lineman out of Sacramento State. Definitely check him out.